Although the suspected ringleader, Abdelhamid Abaaoud, was killed in the Saint-Denis raid, lots of questions remain. For example, how did he get into the country and how long was he in Paris? Susanna De Silva is looking into that for us. Susanna?
That's right, Ian. That was a big question to confirm that he was in fact there. But now there are more and perhaps even bigger questions, security-related questions about the fact that he was in France, that he was in Europe, how he was less than 2 kilometers away from one of those attacks. And I'll give you a little bit of his background to get a better sense of exactly why so many alarm bells are now going off about this fact. Now, the Belgium-born man was first came to the attention of security analysts back in February of 2014. He was seen in Syria driving a truck filled with bodies after a mass execution by ISIS. Later that year, he recruited his 13-year-old brother to go to Syria to fight. Now, this made headlines in Belgium. His name was a household name at the time, known as the youngest Syrian jihadi who'd gone over there to fight. He was then, Abaaoud was sentenced in absentia in Belgium to 20 years in prison for recruiting for ISIS. So again, he had a Europe-wide warrant for his arrest. Yet somehow he was able to slip between Syria and Europe at least twice, even mocked Western law enforcement in the ISIS magazine about the fact that he was seemingly able to move around so freely, with French authorities saying he was involved in 4 of 6 attacks that they have thwarted on their soil since last spring. One on a church, as well as that attack that we had seen on the train with an armed man where other passengers were able to stop him before he was able to do anything. Yet, France still did not know that he was in Europe, let alone France, until Monday. It was an agency outside of Europe that they say alerted them to the fact he had recently been in Greece, something they had no idea about. Greece is now disputing that, but still French officials are concerned. The French Interior Minister calling for a meeting of justice ministers tomorrow in Brussels to discuss the consolidation of borders and the sharing of information, because they are concerned about the fact that he was there and they had no idea.
So moving back for a moment, recruiting a very young brother to be involved in this fight, and then it turns out another relative of his was the woman who blew herself up in Saint-Denis. Yeah,
a woman by the name of Hasna Aitboulahcen. She called herself his cousin. She was a 26-year-old who was born in Paris. Relatives and neighbors say she seemed normal, didn't seem to be an extremist, rarely attended the mosque, drank alcohol, yet her last words were very violent and very extreme and caught on tape. And police saying that one of those bangs heard after that verbal exchange was in fact her setting off her suicide vest. We also know that today her mother and brother were also taken in by investigators for questioning.
Boy, that audio is chilling when you understand the context around it. So a lot of attention on the Saint-Denis raid, but police have been involved in many other raids as well in France.
Yeah, there was another raid in northern France today, more raids in Belgium. So far since the Paris attacks, there have been about 600 raids all across Europe, dozens of people arrested, and these are likely to continue for some time.
Thanks, Susanna.